The vanishing beauty of Saturn. Saturn's rings have fascinated astronomers and stargazers for centuries. Their striking beauty and massive scale make Saturn one of the most recognizable planets in our solar system. But what if I told you that these iconic rings are disappearing? NASA's latest studies suggest that the rings of Saturn are slowly vanishing, and within 100 million years, they might be gone forever. Why is this happening? Can we stop it? And what does this mean for our understanding of planetary systems? Let's embark on a journey to unravel this cosmic mystery. The discovery of Saturn's rings. The rings of Saturn were first observed by Galileo Galilei in 1610, but his primitive telescope only revealed them as two strange ears sticking out from the planet. It wasn't until 1655, when Christian Huygens used a more advanced telescope, that their true nature was understood. They were a system of thin rings encircling the planet. Further observations throughout the centuries have allowed scientists to classify the rings and understand their complex structure. Today, we know that Saturn's rings are primarily composed of water ice, with traces of dust and rock. They span 282,000 kilometers across, but are incredibly thin, measuring only about 10 meters thick in some areas. How were Saturn's rings formed? The exact origin of Saturn's rings remains a topic of debate. There are two primary hypotheses. The moon destruction hypothesis: a massive moon of Saturn was torn apart by the planet's tidal forces, breaking into countless pieces that formed the rings. The primordial hypothesis: the rings are remnants from the early solar system, composed of material that never coalesced into a moon or planet. Regardless of their origin, Saturn's rings have been a fundamental part of the planet's identity, but their days are numbered. Why are Saturn's rings disappearing? According to recent studies by NASA's Cassini spacecraft, Saturn's rings are disappearing due to a phenomenon known as ring rain. This occurs when the planet's gravity pulls particles from the rings into its atmosphere, where they are vaporized. Scientists estimate that Saturn is losing up to 10,000 kilograms of ring material every second. There are several factors contributing to this slow destruction. Micrometeorite bombardments: small space rocks constantly collide with ring particles, breaking them apart and knocking them into Saturn's atmosphere. Solar radiation: ultraviolet radiation from the sun interacts with the ice particles in the rings, causing chemical changes and making them more susceptible to Saturn's gravity. Electromagnetic forces: Saturn's magnetic field influences charged particles within the rings, pulling them toward the planet. What do NASA's observations reveal? The Cassini spacecraft, which orbited Saturn between 2004 and 2017, provided groundbreaking data about the fate of the rings. Before its dramatic dive into Saturn's atmosphere in 2017, Cassini flew between the rings and the planet, measuring the rate at which material was falling onto Saturn. The findings shocked scientists. The rings were disappearing much faster than previously estimated. Scientists now predict that Saturn's rings could completely vanish in the next 100 to 300 million years. While this might seem like a long time in human terms, it is relatively short on a cosmic scale. Comparing Saturn's rings to other planets. Saturn isn't the only planet in the solar system with rings. Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune also have ring systems, but they are much fainter and less massive. Studying Saturn's rings can help us understand the evolution of planetary ring systems in general. Jupiter's rings thin and made mostly of dust, likely originating from its moons. Uranus's rings dark and narrow, composed mainly of ice and rock. Neptune's rings similar to Uranus's, but less stable. Saturn's rings stand out because they are significantly larger and brighter. Their disappearance could offer clues about how other planetary rings might evolve over time. Could Saturn's rings reform? Although the current rings are vanishing, some scientists believe that future events, such as a new moon breaking apart or a comet impact, could create fresh rings around Saturn. However, this would depend on specific cosmic conditions. Interestingly, some exoplanets beyond our solar system are believed to have ring systems much larger than Saturn's. Studying these distant ringed worlds may provide more insight into the birth and death of planetary rings. Fascinating theories. Could Saturn's rings be artificial? There are some wild but intriguing theories suggesting that Saturn's rings might not be entirely natural. Extraterrestrial megastructures. Some conspiracy theories claim the rings could be artificial constructs, possibly remnants of an advanced alien civilization. Destroyed alien probe. A speculative idea that an enormous alien spacecraft once orbited Saturn but was destroyed, leaving behind metallic debris that formed the rings. Temporal phenomenon. Some fringe theories propose that Saturn's rings could be a temporary manifestation of an unknown space-time distortion. While these ideas are more science fiction than science, they reflect the enduring mystery and fascination surrounding Saturn and its rings. The future of Saturn's rings. What's next? As we continue to study Saturn's rings, several questions remain. Will future missions confirm the precise rate at which the rings are disappearing? Could new material replenish the rings, extending their lifespan? What role does dark matter or hidden cosmic forces play in shaping ring systems? Upcoming space missions and telescopes, such as the James Webb Space Telescope, may offer new insights into these questions. A cosmic transformation in progress. Saturn's rings are a beautiful but temporary feature of our solar system. Though they may eventually fade away, they have provided invaluable insights into planetary formation, gravitational dynamics, and the evolution of celestial bodies. For now, we should cherish the opportunity to observe and study them while they still exist. Their eventual disappearance serves as a reminder of the ever-changing and dynamic nature of the cosmos. Saturn's rings have always been one of the most iconic images in astronomy. They make the planet not just beautiful, but literally unique among the giants of the solar system. However, recent research shows that these rings do not last forever. They are gradually breaking up. This raises a global question about the nature of planets and their evolution. We are used to thinking of Saturn as it is today, but on a cosmic scale, its rings are only a temporary phenomenon. If humanity had arrived on Earth 100 million years earlier or later, we might have seen a very different Saturn with massive rings, much brighter and denser, or no rings at all. This process reminds us of the impermanence of the universe. Everything we see, planets, stars, galaxies, changes and disappears over time. Studies show that Saturn is losing up to 10 tons of material from its rings every second, and in the future, we may see it in a whole new form. But can humanity have any influence on this process? In the distant future, when space technology matures, perhaps we can preserve the rings by collecting and redistributing their material. It seems fantastic, but 100 years ago, the idea of going into space also seemed impossible. Anyway, as long as we have the opportunity to observe Saturn with its magnificent rings, we should appreciate this amazing picture. After all, perhaps thousands of years from now, our descendants will look at the ringless Saturn and study it only from archival images of our times. If you found this deep dive into Saturn's rings fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more incredible space discoveries.